Jeff Smedsrud, and we have three kids at home, one just off to college, and one a senior in high school, and one a sophomore in high school. And lived in Eden Prairie for the last 10 years, and Minnesota most of my life. And, entrepreneurial, started a number of businesses, and I enjoy the outdoors, and marathon runner. Been running for many, many years, particularly more in the last 5 to 7 years. Well, I hadn't seen a doctor in many, many years, and when I turned 40, I had promised my wife I'd get a physical. I didn't live up to that promise for almost 4 years. Never had any symptoms. Went in for a routine physical, and the doctor said, well, your red blood cells look a little odd. Are you fatigued often? And I said, no. And he said, well, maybe what we should do is an endoscopy and a colonoscopy. My reaction was, well, I don't have any symptoms. I feel great. Why would I want to do that? And he finally talked me into it, did the colonoscopy a couple of weeks later, and was surprised in the midst of it to hear the word cancer, and was shocked. 3 days later, we had surgery to remove about 14 inches of colon and a decent size small tumor. It was stage 2 colon cancer. Never would have expected it. Wasn't on my radar screen. Never had any symptoms, and had I not done that, had I not listened to my wife's advice, had I not listened to the doctor's advice, quite frankly, I wouldn't be here. 7 years later, watching kids grow up, spending time with my wife. I mean, those are things you think about that just wouldn't happen. So I'd encourage anybody to think about not only themselves, but their leadership responsibilities to their family, to have a checkup and not be afraid.